Please pause if you want to read this prologue. Its trailhead is located in central Honolulu, just 5 miles away from Waikiki. Our trip was about 9.5 miles with 2,833 feet elevation gain. I parked my car on the shoulder near 3,151 Tantalus Drive. The trailhead has a clear sign for the Kalawahine Trail. Not many Oahu trails have this clear sign. This was beginning of the trail. There were several downed trees like this on the trail. Walking on this beautiful Kalawahine Trail. It is very nice like this about 1.4 miles to the junction with Paa Flats Trail. A huge banyan tree on the Kalawahine Trail. Its root lays across the trail. Our first selfie for the day passing the huge banyan tree. I forgot to mention that Kalawahine Trail is full of ginger plants. It's the junction with Manoa Cliff Trail. We are about 0.9 miles from trailhead. We went straight. Don't take Manoa Cliff Trail. Heading to the junction with Paa Flats Trail in 0.4 miles. Approaching the junction with Paa Flats Trail. It is about 1.3 miles from trailhead. We needed to go left but went to right on the junction. I was not careful with my GPS unit. We were on Paa Flats Trail heading to Manoa Cliffs and Pu'uohia Trails. We encountered this massive banyan tree on Paa Flats Trail. This was the junction between Paa Flats Trail and Manoa Cliffs Trail. This was the junction between Manoa Cliffs Trail and Pu'uohia Trail. We came across this antiquated antenna tower. We have not been here but looks like it is the old telephone road. My GPS indicated we were heading to an opposite direction of K1. We came back down to Paa Flats Trail. We are passing the junction with Nuuanu Trail to the left. It is about 1.4 miles from trailhead. It is quite rooty section of the Paa Flats Trail right after the Nuuanu Trail junction. Its route was very slippery. Extreme caution was required. One can twist ankles or easily fall down. This was the junction with Manoa Falls Trail. It is about 1.6 miles from trailhead. It says that 1.5 miles to the Manoa Falls and 0.3 miles to Nuuanu Lookout. Approaching the Nuuanu Lookout. It is about 2 miles from trailhead. At the Nuuanu Lookout at 1,640 feet elevation. It has the views of the Pali Highway and Nuuanu Water Reservoir. We also noticed that K1 and K2 areas were covered with clouds. Heading to K2 summit. Right after the Nuuanu Lookout, its sign says, "End of maintained trail." The trail beyond this sign is not maintained. Heading to K2, it's quite steep trail. There were a few ropes along the way. This was about 2,150 feet elevation. K2 summit is 3,105 feet elevation. Here was a flat spot at 2,300 feet elevation. From the Nuuanu Lookout, we climbed up about 660 feet elevation gain in 0.5 miles. K2 was in the clouds but was clear to the south, Manoa, Honolulu, and Eva. We decided to head down here at 2,300 feet elevation. Its trail to K2 was too wet and muddy. Heading back down to Nuuanu Lookout. Back at Nuuanu Lookout. On the way back, when we got to the junction with Manoa Falls, we decided to hike to Manoa Falls, which was 3 miles round trip. It is called Ihua Lama Trail. It has a beautiful bamboo forest but very rooty trail. There were several downed trees on Ihua Lama Trail. The second half of Ihua Lama Trail to Manoa Falls were very wet and muddy. Not recommended when it's this bad. This section of the trail was interesting because of its tree roots. Needs to be very careful by taking one step at a time. Despite its rooty and muddy trail, there were a bunch of tourists hiking this trail. Approaching the junction with Manoa Falls Trail, and the Manoa Falls is just ahead. Approaching the Manoa Falls. At the Manoa Falls, it is probably the most visited waterfalls in Oahu. People used to swim in the water but not allowed anymore. Back at the junction between Paa Flats and Ihua Lama trails. Heading back on Paa Flats Trail. Leon found these blue marbles. They're from blue marble trees that I found out later in the web. We are almost back to the trailhead, Kalawahine Trail. Mahalo for watching my video. Please subscribe for more Oahu hiking trail guide.